disappointing. I expected more. I'm back! Oh, this has been lying on my shelf for 2 years. It has a very bad smell. Oh, I should have not. I got the vacuum cleaner out because I thought it was going to be a lot of confetti in it. It was just one thing. This was sadder than I expected it to be. This is what came out. Normally, this is supposed to unravel into, a little rain. This. Pointing. Like everything I do. Speaking of things I do, you may ask yourself, why would anyone go through the entire Die Hard Wiki and look at all the birthdays? Good question. Were motivations lie undetected? Even to me. Now, there's a handful of people who didn't get any information on when they were born on the wiki, and by a few I mean 75. As a majority of the characters. Just gonna list all of them. Strap in. Anton, Argal, Assistant Deputy Director Molina, have no clue who that is. C for Red, Captain Rebels, Captain Scalvino, Casper, Celia, Chuck Summer, CIA Agent Bill Jarvis, CIA Agent Foxy, Connie Kowalski, not the same person, Dell, Deputy Chief Dwayne T. Robinson, Deputy Director Miguel Brauman, Detective Joe Lambert, Detective Ricky Walsh, Dexter Carver. Those are very weird names. Dietmann, Dr. Fred Schiller, Dr. Hasseldorf, Ed Trudeau. I assume that's French, and I don't know how that's actually pronounced, so I assume it's Trudeau. Eric, FBI Agent Cross, FBI Agent Johnson, another FBI agent named Johnson. FBI Agent Laughlin, FBI Agent Taylor, Jay Wallens, Jimmy Goatee. I'm not kidding you, this man's name is Goatee. Harry Ellis, Harvey Johnson, Inspector Walter Cobb, Ivan, Jerry Parks, Jim, Jürgens, Klaus, Larry Griffith, Leonard Atkins, Mako, Marvin, Mary, Misha, Miss Clouders, Nils, NSA Agent Jack Perry, Officer Charlie Wise, Officer Jane, Officer Al Carlson, Paulina, Principal Martinez, Raj, Raymond Carver, Robinson, Rolf, Rollins, Roman, Russo, Sam, Samantha, Coleman, Sergeant John Turley, Sheldon, Sherman, Special Agent Johnson, SWAT Captain Mitchell, SWAT Officer Rivers, Telford, Vadim, Victor Shagarin, who's either born 1945 or 1956. The wiki just lists that there. It doesn't list a specific year. Like, that's as good as listing none. Wanda Shepherd and last on the list, Zeus Carver. Very notable deaths on here include just the amount of people that are killed by John McClane. Like, he is a major cause of death. Now, with the majority of the characters out of the way, let's get to the one that do have birth information for them. First up, oldest, is Joe Takagi. We all remember Takagi. He's born in 1937. That's the few birthdays, actually, that we learn in the movie, Hans tells us. I think the other one is Holly, and I don't know if any of the other ones are actually canon. Next up is Major Grant, born in 1939. Now, he is listed as Major in my spreadsheet. That's because I thought I wouldn't recognize him if I just wrote Grant as last name. And then I remembered that he's the only person to get sucked into an airplane engine. And that is listed in here too. First up on the list with an actual birthday is Ramon Esperanza, that politician from Die Hard 2, and I don't know what else he does. I don't even know what country he's a politician for. I only watched Die Hard 2 once. I didn't think it was a very exciting movie. I liked it, but it wasn't very exciting. Yeah. That's all I know about him. And the fact that he was born on the 23rd of November 1940. Leslie Barnes, no clue who that is born in 1942. Now, again in Die Hard 2, Vito Lorenzo, born in 1943. His brother, Carmine, I assume it's pronounced Carmine. What kind of name is that? Who who names their child Carmine? Anyway, he's born 2 years later, 1945. 28th of November, 1947, marks the birthday of Die Hard 1 baddie Carl Fresky. This is something true for most of the villains from the first movie. They generally have full birthdays listed. By the way, Carl Fresky is played by Alexander Godunov, who is a former Russian ballet dancer. So when you go look up pictures of him, it just looks like Carl in really tight suit dancing, and I think that's pretty fun. I thought that was something everyone should know. Now, born the same year are Richard Thornburg, or fittingly nicknamed Dick, and also Otto from the third movie. You remember Otto? Otto doesn't speak German. Now, the next two are a bit confusing, because according to the wiki, Simon Gruber is born in 1948. The problem is that his younger brother Hans, born after him, is born that same September. Their mother got pregnant again basically immediately after she gave birth to Simon, since Hans is born on the 12th of September, and a pregnancy famously takes 9 months. Number 2. Hans, big bad guy, exceptional thief, operator kidnapper, was an early birth. Or 3. Simon and Hans are twins. Honestly, that's my favourite one. Now, James, one of the guys from the first movie that set up the rocket launcher, is born on August 25th, 1949. Theo's birthday is probably my favourite out of all of them, because it's something special. It's the 24th of December 1950, which famously is the same day as the day of the robbery. Must have been an awkward meeting. Hans is just meticulously outlining the plan and goes, okay, so we'll do it on the 24th, and Theo's just standing there like, should I maybe tell him? Nah, he'll be fine. Miller, one of Colonel Stewart's men, also born in 1950. That's a thing that'll come up a lot, and it's just Colonel Stewart's men. They are all over this spreadsheet. It's ordered by dates, and it just everywhere. He really went all out with the different ages. Born 1 year after him, on the 29th of September 1951, is Uli. You remember Uli? Henchman from the first movie. Likes candy. Asian. Speaks English. Has a German name. It's a very weird combination I've never seen. In the year 1951, Oswald Cochrane was born, December 12th. He's also with Colonel Stewart, as I said, there'll be a lot of those people. Eddie, who, if I have to explain to you who Eddie is, then what are you doing here? Go watch the movies. They're good. Anyway, he first had light of day on the 7th of April 1952. The 13th, just a few days later, same month, same year, is the birthday of Colonel William Stewart, the guy I've been talking about with the henchmen. There'll be a lot of people who work with him on this list, believe me. To the point where I'm running out of synonyms for henchman, as to not have all my sentences just be the same. It's fun fact time. Did you know that the name of the electrician that cuts the power to the Nakatomi Tower is called Walt? Did you know that he's born in 1952? I didn't. And then I went onto the wiki, and apparently, yes, he is. That's what I like about the wiki. It has information that you would normally have for main character, like Argyle, who I remind you does not even have a year. And it has it for characters that are on the screen for 1.5 minutes. Everyone's favourite strawberry blonde pyromaniac was birthed in 1953. I'm talking about Alexander. That's the other guy that set up the rocket launcher. I like him. I like his sweater. It's a very nice sweater. As you can also tell by the fact that I just said birthed, I'm slowly running out of synonyms for born. So, Marco, crazy Italian guy jumping on the table in Die Hard 1, was produced on January 1st, 1954, which, if everything goes according to plan, is tomorrow. Wait. I think I may have made a mistake. Yes. I wrote January 1st. It's January 27th. I just noticed that. It's a very grave mistake. John was born on the 19th of March 1955. I'm actually believing that he appears in all 5 movies. There's probably a point where his license is shown or something. Born same year as John, 1955, is a man named Shockley. It says here that he's killed by a SWAT officer. So I assume he's also one of Colonel Stewart's men. How many allies does this guy need? To be fair, Hans did have 12. Simon had so many that a lot of them don't even have names. There's an entire category on the wiki which is just unnamed characters, and quite a few of them are Simon's henchmen. While we're speaking of henchmen, Heinrich, whose name I just pronounced correctly for the first time, and it's weird, I've already got used to saying Heinrich. Born 11th of February 1956. It does feel very weird pronouncing the German names German. It shouldn't feel weird, but it feels weird because they're pronounced in a slightly English way throughout the entire movie, much like Hans Gruber is not Hans Gruber, it's Hans Gruber. Now, born after Heinrich is Holly McClay, who should have appeared in more movies. They did her fucking dirty. Like you can have her be divorced from John, but at least have her be in more movies. I want to see her punch more people. She deserved that. They did her dirty. Anyway, she's born 25th of March 1957, which is just a few days after John. 2 years. Tony Vresky, who's probably my favorite character in the entire first movie, even though he has like 10 lines and then he dies. He's born on the 3rd of July 1957, which is 1 day and 1 month after me. And also a lot of years before me because I'm born in 2005. I also like Tony because he is the reason that the best fight in all of the movies exists. And it's the John and Carl fight. If you don't think that is a good fight, what is wrong with you? Born also that year, 1957, is Matthias Targo, who I, for some strange reason, always thought was named Thargo. Thargo. But no, there's no H in his last name. I don't quite know why I thought that was the case. No, we're still not through with I had 1 henchman, as evident by Fritz, that guy with the really awesome hair. Like, I know they all have very good hair, but long, flowing, brown, slightly red hair. Not me. But anyway, his birthday? Good question, I already forgot it again. May 10th, 1958. Now, 1958 marks the birth of O'Reilly, who's, if I'm not mistaken, one of Colonel Stewart's men too. But he originally works for Major Grant. But I guess since Major Grant and Colonel Stewart work together, all their henchmen are just each other's henchmen. Like, is that how it works? You say, I have never had henchmen. While I am a well-dressed German, I have never been a thief. Not on that high of a scale. Die Hard 3 is just the dream of everyone who's born in East Germany, isn't it? Punching a capitalist and stealing all his gold, plunging the economy into downfall. Rory Kummerer, born 1961, is actually the only person on this list to be killed by Jack McClane. Coming up is a character that I personally like very much, and I hate that basically everyone forgets about him. Okay? Because who doesn't forget about Christoph? You know, one of Hans's henchmen. He's, according to this, at the time of the robbery, 26. He's born 15th of March 1962. And he's completely forgotten. He has like 3 lines in the entire movie. He's the guy to get knocked out by McClane as he goes up to Hans and Eddie. The best picture you can find of him is just right before he gets knocked out, and it's still so blurry. Like, you cannot find a good reference picture of him. Now, Franco, who I always assumed to be Italian, apparently he's not, he's French, was mothered into this world in 1962. I don't think these synonyms for born are going to work out. Let's just go back to that. Now, 1964 was a very busy year for mothers. First Abbas Baker, another one of Colonel Stewart's men. How many allies does he need? Like, from a certain point onward, really, it is just too many people that you have. It could potentially just ruin your plan by going to the police. Like, at a certain point, you have to stop telling people about your plan. He probably just randomly told people about his plan and realized, oh fuck, they're gonna... What do I do now? I told them about my genius plan. Hey, you wanna be my ally? Anyway, he's born on the 21st of October, as I said, 1964. I keep going on very weird tangents. Following, with our precise birthdays, are Burke, or Burke. I have no clue how to pronounce it. I assume he's German because he's working for Simon. Khan from Die Hard 2. Again, everyone who appears in Die Hard 2 from this point onward is probably just one of Colonel Stewart's men. As well as Carl and Katja from the 3rd movie. Not to be confused with Carl from the 1st movie. There's 2 henchmen named Carl working for one of the Gruber brothers, but there's no relation between them. Thomas Gabriel. He's born in 1968, May 20th to be precise. Now, being born 1907, Kurt is the youngest one of Simon's sidekicks and the last character from Die Hard 3 on this list. I pronounced it Kurt because I assume he's German, and the German pronunciation is just Kurt. Next few I'm just gonna list because there's no precise birthdays, just years, and we'll be in an endless spiral if I keep telling you everything with a single sentence or multiple even. 1974, Rand. 1975, Mike Collins, and in 1979, Alec and Mylin. Now, Warlock is born 2nd of August 1980, and this is where my script ends. I shit you not. My script doesn't even have a point, it just ends here. If you remember in Die Hard 4, there was this guy with the curly hair and the glasses, the little computer guy. His name is Trey, and he's born also in 1980. Now, the next thing is a little special thing for me because out of McClane, my favourite character in Die Hard 4 is Matt Farrell, and his birthday is the 2nd of June. 1981, not 2005 like mine, but the day and the month is the same. Now, we are nearing the end of this list and the end of this video. And sadly, there is no more precise dates, there's only years. 1982 marks the birth of Lucy McClane. Irina Komarov, born 1983. And last on this list is Jack McClane. He's born in 1984, making him 4 by the time the first movie comes around. He's very old in Die Hard 5. How old is he in Die Hard 5? Wait, I have to do math. He's 29. That's not that old. It sounded older in my head. 2013 minus 1984. It sounded way older in my head than 29. That's the end of this list. We are now at D57. It's the last thing that stands here on this. It says alive. So yeah, that's a nice thing that Jack at least got to survive. Not like his friend Mike. Hey, little thing I realized after finishing filming this video. apparently, in one of the files from him in the 5th movie from Jack, you can see that his birth date is the 15th of September 1984. Yeah, so his birthday is September 15th, 1984. Just wanted to tell you that. After all, this is a video about Die Hard birthdays.